M&M's,
Nice.
the best kind, which are
Peanut butter.
fuck yeah. You get to,
Hell yeah.
You get to keep your job, Nick.
Thank God. I'm like, I know my answer, but I don't know everyone's answer.
That is awesome. You know what? I brought them because they're, M&M's, Marvel Multiverse, or Multiverse Mayhem. I
1.5 M&Ms.
I could just take 3 of them because they all have like little M's and put 3 of them together, and you get the name of the show, Nick, which is something
Marvel.
Start introducing right
now. Everyone, welcome to Marvel Multiverse Mayhem on Wednesdays with me, Nick. Oh, Thursdays. That comes out Thursday. We record the day of the show. Like I just watched Captain Carter like minutes ago. Anyway, really? I'm Nick. And Kyle's with. I slept in.
Got it.
I hopped on Twitter too early, but I actually didn't see any spoilers.
Someone posted really spoiler
alert still, but like I saw a picture of Ultron from like the Ultron episode. I'm like, shit, is he gonna show up in Cap? I thought he was gonna come through the portal at the end. Ultron with all the stones. I swore I saw a bot someone posted, and I thought they were posting pictures from today's episode. But the only bot is Steve Rogers.
Yeah. It was good, man. I dug it.
Yeah.
I'm Kyle, by the way. I think you started to introduce me, but yeah.
Yeah, he's Kyle. If you can't see us because you're not watching.
Yep.
Bastards. But no, you can listen. Listen good. But what'd you think of I liked it too. Okay, I'll get into that later. What did you think of the animation style? Well, I know it's been people have been discussing that since the trailers.
So, I have already been outspoken that I'm not a fan of it, right? Mm-hmm. That I didn't care for the actual character designs and line work, like the actual. Wow! I realized that my audio might suck for the first few minutes as my mic was still turned sideways from when I was playing Team Fortress with my kid earlier. So sorry about that.
You're a little louder, but I'm sure they can hear you.
Yeah. Anyways, or was I? So the animation, basically, it still doesn't work. I do think that if they hadn't gone with the CGI cell shading, that and you kept these exact lines and styles, but just did traditional 2D with it, I think I would like it more. I still don't think I would necessarily be a fan of the character designs, and it's nothing that I can necessarily point at and say it's wrong. It's just something. It's not appealing to my eye. It's a completely subjective thing. It's like when I don't like the Ninja Turtles, Rise of the Ninja Turtles cartoon designs. It's like it's just me. I got it. A lot of people really dug it. I didn't. So take that as you will. It looks too much like a video game, Nick. I mean, honestly, that's what it was. And look, there's times where that works, like in video games. and I do, dude, I would almost, because it reminds me of some of the stuff I think it's in Ultimate Alliance 3 uses a cell shading style, and the Dragon Ball fighting games use a cell shading style in some of the modern iterations.
I'm playing Breath of the Wild right now. I would say animation is akin to Breath of the Wild, which is a video game, not a
exactly. And even when you talk about CGI animation, there's plenty of times that works well, and 2D animation work real well. I did enjoy kind of the anime feel to some of the fluidity of the fights,
explosions, smoke,
and
I noticed
explosions and all of that. Very, very. I was like, it's almost like someone from Powerhouse was like involved, because they like to throw in. If you watch Castlevania, There's times where you're like, I'm watching an anime, and then there's times you're like, no, I'm not. And it's because it's a unique form of Western anime, if you will. And this kind of had that. Hey, I love drawing Disney cartoons, but I fuck with Goku every now and then. I draw some Kamehameha and it'll be cool. And I like that. I'm not against it. It didn't grate me to where I'm like, I can't watch it, like the Ninja Turtles one. Like that one is so ugly to me. And again, to me, not calling it ugly art. So relax. Not Nick, to you, not you. Yeah. There we go. Anyways, but yeah, man, what'd you think of it? Because I know you weren't the biggest fan either.
No, I'm probably the biggest fan on the website. It sounds like Jonesy and Jammer hate it. It doesn't sound like Cam or those kind of people. I do think that I think I said that. I may have not said it on this show. I think I said it in Breaking Geek, but when the first clips came out, I liked it better because I do like the movement. Like it makes the animation look better. I don't know why I like the movement so much. So watching a full episode, I got used to it real quick. And I do find it's an interesting style that they're going for, like ultra realism in a way where it's like, yeah, when they showed the first trailer, it's like, oh, it's the exact same shot. And it looks like, Tony Stark or Dominic Cooper. I was going to call it Dominic Stark. No, I'm blanking his name. Howard Stark.
There you go.
Whereas like they exaggerate characters like the doctor, whoever the doctor is, looks pretty different in this, even though Stanley Tucci does get one line in, and Armin Zola is like exaggeratedly small.
Look, the best part of that whole thing with Toby Jones was just the fact that they got shit in the cartoon MCU, which I know they say shit in the most kid friendly of all MCU films, Spider-Man films. The Homecoming and Far From Home, and I think Peter says shit in Civil War, if I'm not mistaken, but it's not that big of a word. It was just that it was in German. I was sitting there.
Oh, Scheisse.
Yeah, I was sitting there watching, and she pops open the thing, and I'm waiting on Toby Jones, Zola to be there, and it's just like Scheisse, and I'm like, oh.
They can do that though. They've said
I laughed so
the
hard.
rating for this show, they were shooting for PG-13. Yeah. Because did you read the article about they want to what if Peter Parker was turned into a spider and they couldn't find it way to make it so horrific it wasn't rated R.
Yeah.
So they cut it.
That whole Parker growing extra arms is something that was done in the cartoon.
Mm-hmm. I remember they did it in the animated series back in the 90s.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
But this is definitely more violent than Spider-Man or Batman in the 90s because they're able to show people die. In those shows, it was like Joker drops someone out of a plane and they land on a cushion. It's like,
yeah,
she's kicking people into fire and like,
yep. And they do cut away or use shadow and stuff so that it's not super gross. I'll say bravo on this. You guys said Nazis shit and showed Steve Rogers and Captain Carter kill people. I'm in. Disney so far. I'm down. Marvel, good job, guys. I really enjoyed the whole let's from the introduction and the whole multiverse thing, and here's the moment that the variant line is created, and
that was the moment.
Yeah, and that's fun. And it just goes through all the same beats of Captain America, the First Avenger.
With quite a few big changes.
It's just the flips of what that thing is, but it's still, the enemies are the captives behind enemy lines. It's still Howard, Steve, and Peggy working together. It's still the government wanting not to use Peggy because, well, we need her blood. And you notice they did have a focused shot on her blood. So I wonder if that's going to play a role for like that whole Captain Britain Corps idea thing going forward in animated What If multiverse. Who knows? This is the one thing I will say. I am not going to be looking for Easter eggs to tell me anything in this series. I'm looking for fun little Easter eggs that are just like what we saw in WandaVision, in that animated, like the Grim Reaper words. This is a Marvel thing. See it? Isn't it?
Yeah.
Isn't it pretty? Ta-da! Go. I'm actually really, really happy to consume something Marvel without being worried about a bigger picture, because while this is all canon because it's a multiverse, it's not canon as in, hey, how much of an effect, other than the potential, Captain Britain Corps, Captain Peggy multiverse Green Lantern Corps style thing from the comics, outside of that, how much of this is going to have an effect on anything live action? So you can unplug the LRM Genreverse. Please like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and just watch it and have fun.
Yeah. Here's a question. I don't think there's a real answer for it. Any idea what the creature at the end is? Is it like because it's got to be some Marvel thing they just pulled from some random comic.
Well,
obviously we only see tentacles, and that represents Hydra. But
you start thinking of like Shimu Gorath.
Okay.
And he does have connections to the multiverse, and he does have connections to Stephen Strange, of course, because it's multiverse and magic stuff. I thought that at first. I'll show you why. Let's see here. Shuma. I said Shima Gorath. It's Shuma Gorath. Let me bring up my share screen, and I have no idea what this is going to end up looking like after after I change. Anyways,
totally, especially if it's dimensional, which is what they awakened it up from.
Exactly. And as soon as I saw it, I was like, "Huh, I wonder if that's Shimu Gorath."
You're probably right.
Fuck, Shuma Gorath. And yeah, I mean, it would make. It
doesn't have to be either, but
no, it doesn't.
There's no way Marvel's gonna waste. Just be like random monster. It's obviously something comic fans will be like, "Who is that?" Or "Ooh, I love that character."
But does it mean that he has to be a part of Multiverse of Madness or something? No, but could he be?
Could he be a tease? That's what I was wondering. There could be some teases within here that
exactly, like I said,
end up with little pieces.
I'm not necessarily saying it will happen or that it won't. I'm just saying I don't necessarily see where an event here has an effect. Now, things that are related, like a Shuma Gorath that goes, across all of the multiverse, sure. But him having this interaction with Captain Peggy, does it affect Multiverse of Madness? No, probably not. And that's what I like about it. I'm hoping that the rest of them stay like this, to where I could just unplug, and it's like reading what these are
what if
based off of, which are the one shot and what if stories. I like it.
Like, here's one of my favorite part. I'll tell you my favorite part, just in general about it. It reminded me of Spider-Verse a lot, which we covered last week, where the story, but it puts off expectations. Like, you see the spider, like Oliver's shirt and stuff, but it doesn't actually get bit till from like 5 minutes later. I felt that with the Bucky scene.
Oh,
I'm like, are they gonna throw Bucky off the bridge in every what if story? Because I think he's voiced at least 3 or 4, like Boseman.
Could be, yeah.
But we definitely know we're seeing him in Zombie.
I'm
as the Winter Soldier in that. So obviously in that timeline, everything's happened probably the same up to that point.
Yeah, I think that might even just be us going back to that timeline and following it, but we'll see.
That's what I kind of want from. I know that What If is supposed to be a bunch of one shots, and we're doing this for a reason.
But you want some little thread for the animated world.
Well, I would love to see a whole season about how everything changes because it's Captain Carter. Because obviously she comes through instead of Loki, so that changes events hugely.
You're gonna want to see that for every character's change moment. So
they said she'll get at least one episode a season, is the rumor. Yeah. So I guess I bet it'll be Captain Carter Part 2. I mean, yeah, next season or something, and maybe we'll see her with the Avengers. Obviously, an Iron Man suit exists in that universe before Tony Stark built one. Just all the little things that would change, like all those decisions change it.
Yeah,
maybe Tony Stark never becomes Iron Man, or he's just handed the title from.
And I wonder, honestly, if no, they're gonna play off as each shows its own moment. So
I think so. I don't think there'll be any connecting tissue except for the Watcher talking.
And maybe Carter, like we said, that's just a theory based off of comic book stuff and not anything else other than the fact that she survives her trip and ends up in what looks like our MCU movieverse, but animated.
Multiverse. Yeah.
So it's, whatever. I will say this. I always liked Haley Atwell's Peggy Carter from Cap 1. Fun actress to have on screen. She's got good chemistry with her castmates. She's able to be funny. She kicked good ass for her shows. I love that this is one of those times where the sexism is 1,000% on point. Yeah. And no one can deny it because it's a period piece and
not having sex. So girls can't be in the army.
So it's not as cringy as things can sometimes be. Not always. It's all fun. I liked it, and it throws back to things that you saw in the Agent Carter show and things you saw in Cap 1, and I think there's even like no, I don't think there's a comment about her gender in Ant-Man. Nah, I was trying to remember because she's in that scene de-aged with what's his?
Oh, she's aged up, that's right.
And he's aged down. Douglas, yeah, whatever. Sheen, whatever.
Yeah, no, Douglas,
yeah. So we'll see what happens. I liked it. I would be down with a fucking. Oh, so one of the things was I wrote down. I was like, so what? Captain Peggy can't represent her country. Way to be
not Captain Britain.
Way to be more progressive than America there, Britain, and just joking around with Christine about it. But I don't see why we couldn't necessarily get a animated Captain Britain show with her if reactions are as mostly positive as I've been hearing. I'd kind of watch that. Change the animation, please.
Or even like they said they'd like to use Captain Carter. Well, these are all rumors. People say that Captain Carter would be maybe a potential character to either show up in Doctor Strange or just even get a live action TV series.
Yeah.
But that's the thing about this, though, is that obviously you can't create a live action show with that much action for that same price as animation. Like as I was watching it, I'm like, they probably did stuff in this movie they wish they could have afforded to do in the first Captain America. They're using her skill set better than he was using the original movie because they've been playing with the usage of the shield for like 11 years since they originally, or 9 years since they originally shot.
I just love the sound of vibranium. Like it's throughout the whole MCU. Every time the shield is used, every time you're around,
it's like
Black
another
Panther,
earthly vibration sound.
It's good sound.
Yeah, I noticed that. I saw some behind the scenes video about creating that sound and how maybe it was just a YouTuber talking about how great the sound is and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely noticed the first time the sound when she hits and flips the vehicle. I was like, yeah, there's that like it has like an alien. It's hard to describe.
I wanna bring something up about Captain Carter's outfit, and that's her armor, her boob armor to be specific. So I was in the army, right?
Mhm.
And you have to wear body armor in the army, right? And we used to have these things called flak jackets back in Vietnam, which are just like Kevlar vests, and then you get plates and things that created the individual body armor type things that I wore when I went to Iraq. But by the time my last deployment and things that have come out since, you have the like third and fourth gen individual outer tactical vest. It's a mouthful. IOTV. The last gens were designed specifically. And the reason why I bring this up is late last year during the Mandalorian season 2.
We were talking about suits above the
and they were talking, right? You legitimately had, I think she was like a game designer or someone in game journalism or something, was the one that kind of kicked off the boob armor talk on Twitter. And I'm sitting there like fuming because I read the freaking surveys. I hear the conversations with females in my ranks, both, you know, subordinates and peers and superiors. So all three. Room in the chest, both on the plates and in the actual design of the vest was requested, because while they already do for comfort and athletic purposes use, you know, specific supports for their chest, you don't necessarily want a flat or just barely curved plate then pushing against that. Yeah. So are they a little bit more stylized for the screen? Maybe not, because I just look, if you've never had to wear armor, shut the fuck up. That's all I'll say about it. I thought the design of her outfit was outstanding. It looks good as the British Union Jack. I love the tribute to the, you know, movie in the design of it, the textured look, that fold where her abdomen meets her chest. It matches like Cap's change, and I really appreciated the attention to detail to all the things that they're bringing from the MCU and saying, oh, remember this, but it's different. Remember this, but this is literally just fan service.
Yeah, I was thinking that too when I was watching it. I'm like, this episode probably wouldn't make sense if you haven't seen the original movie, because it's
I don't think any of these will.
Yeah, I mean, mainly because like it's just it's a short version. They're doing the same amount of story in 30 minutes. Which I actually thought the pacing was really good considering they were actually doing that.
Yeah, well, there were a few times where I was like, maybe you didn't need to show so many raids, like that aspect where you're trying to combine, you know, Steve getting the armor, them doing fights, the mission going wrong, capturing it was like needed to cut that down a little bit and put some of those story threads closer together. But I got what they were trying to do. It felt a little it felt crowded, not necessarily rushed, just crowded.
Crowded.
Like the
Germans.
You know, let's on that one, let's take a break and a word from our sponsors over at Grow Generation.
Grow Generation, where the pros go to grow. Grow Generation is your one-stop shop for hydroponic grow supplies, product systems, and more. Grow Generation serves customers across the nation and carries a wide inventory of renowned cultivation brands. Go to www.growgeneration.com, where the pros go to grow.
All right, we're back. What else do you have really to say about the episode?
let's see. I actually did write down notes. Sexist stuff, boob armor. They said shit in the movie. Why can't Peggy rep Britain? Shimu Gorath, and I said Shimu, and it's Shuma. Bleh. Hydra, which again it makes sense. The whole Hydra tentacle monster, and then anime fights and explosions. Man, I mean, I hate that it's ugly to me. That's it. I really do. I hope all of the writing is as good as this. Is it perfect? No. But I really do hope that they maintain this quality of storytelling. If not, make it a little bit better. I will say this: this is a very limited story to tell. Captain America's story. There's only so many ways to spice it up. I don't know, man. What about you? What complaints do you have? Was there anything that you were just kind of like, that was lame, or this was crowded, or too short, too fast? Dominic Cooper's acting. Did you find it a little hammy, or like maybe he didn't know how to voice act outside of
I don't know
a room? It was odd to me.
A lot of the real actors that were in it just sounded off, even though I knew in the opening credits that it actually was that actor.
Yeah.
And I was like, at first, Bucky Barnes caught me off, even though it's obviously Sebastian Stan. And they're like, okay, he's falling into the voice acting, and he sounds more like Bucky, like so. But I guess this isn't a complaint, but something I noticed because of the character they have to use. What did Captain America have that Captain Carter doesn't? A helmet to protect his head from getting shot. But in this, they're like, we gotta show Peggy Carter's hair and her face. It's less. It doesn't have to be as realistic. It's animated, and obviously, it's kind of like the first banner for the Avengers. The three leads, even Bruce Banner, like it was obviously is the actors' faces. Thor and Iron Man has his helmet down, and Cap's face is wearing the helmet, and it's covered by him flying throwing the shield. It's like, what? Chris Evans' chopped liver, and you're even going to show like Mark Ruffalo instead of the Hulk on your poster? But they got better with that each movie to a point where I don't think him or Stark's never wears his helmet in the posters, because you need to show that
you got
your money actor's face.
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of odd at first with the MCU of everyone is out in the open, and we're not going to have any secret identities and stuff. But I got into that idea really early on, where it's like, yeah, the whole secret identity thing would be really hard to do if you're an Avenger level hero. Like Daredevil, sure. Luke Cage
is supposed to be
if he wanted to, Luke Cage could probably,
he's
hide
never
himself.
Really cared about that.
No,
though.
but those are the types that could, is what I'm saying.
Even the Punisher's just like, I'm
Iron Man,
Castle, bitch.
No, like
well, Iron Man did have a secret identity
for a while, but
which is why the movie they skipped it. They both
because it doesn't make sense.
And yeah, I agree. And it's just like that was the most unexpected thing at the time, coming off the Spider-Man movies, because they make up the stupid story that like, oh, that was his bodyguard. He's like, you know what? I am Iron Man. But
I liked it.
One other thing I was going to say is I'm pretty sure they made it pretty clear, I think, last week, Agent Carter is not continuity. No clips were, I haven't watched it, so they're garbage. The Marvel Legends thing, just where it's like, it's not even like narrated, it's just like, here's a series of clips so you know where the hero's at. They didn't include any Agent Carter footage in it. Hers. Nope. They only included MCU movies, including her, I assume her death and stuff. But they didn't show a single shot of footage from even the one shot. Kind of like, it's the continuing thing of Kevin Feige kind of wants to erase what was on ABC and even Netflix to an extent. And we'll see how much that plays out when we do get actors. Like, it sounds like we're getting, hopefully, the same actor for Fisk and rumors are we're getting Daredevil pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
Whether he shows up in She-Hulk or Spider-Man, it just, why not? How can you not have a lawyer? How can you not have Daredevil in a Spider-Man movie eventually? And how can you not have a lawyer in a She-Hulk series where she's also a lawyer?
Yeah, I was gonna say she is the lawyer.
Well, that's the perfect show to throw in Matt Murdock as her contemporary.
Yeah.
And they can even fight together, though he probably wouldn't do well against the Hulk level threat.
I don't know. He is pretty smart.
And the last thing I personally want to say is I noticed at the beginning, well, if you're watching it, clips of it, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, she's got super. When she went in to get the serum, I was like, how much bigger is it really going to make her? Is she going to make her too muscular or something? Just like Steve Rogers, her height jumped by like 2 feet. And she's not like weird chick muscular. She's just like really tall and muscular enough. It's not like we see like Captain America level arms.
So I hope nobody takes this offensive out there. Nick will know exactly what I'm talking about. She looked like a swimmer who didn't get the small leg syndrome. That wedge shape and that almost, I don't know what it is. Swimmers, your guys
depends what stroke you're good
at. But in general, your muscles are less cut than what most people think of when they think of a muscular person, and your guys' muscles are,
you're lean.
They're more like, they're more like bulky people, like just, you're not cut. And so it creates this odd, not bad, just this odd look when you're looking at someone that is freaking in shape, but there's none of the normal in shape lines, and that's what it looked like to me. But also into the legs, because swimmers, chicken leg. I'm sorry, you guys got chicken legs.
Still got my chicken legs. It's my skinniest part of my body.
Did I say anything that was a lie, Nick?
No, I was even going to bring up the best girl swimmer at my school was the butterfly, like over.
Yeah,
and she had like the biggest shoulders I've ever seen on a woman, because she was the best at that stroke, and that stroke is like, I would say breaststroke is mostly leg strength, but I mean there is a kick to it, but I've always found butterfly to be more of it's the hardest for me to do. Like it's all about your upper body.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Well, there you go. Yeah, I was curious as to, because the shots you see of her in the trailer, you don't really get a good context of her size.
Exactly. That's why I was interested when she went in. I'm like, how much bigger is she? And then she's much taller than Howard. And he's not that tall.
Yeah, and it worked. I was off put at first because it was so drastic, but then when you see it get put in with everything else, you're like, okay, yeah, it fits. It works. It's good. I'm down with it.
Sure, crush Steve.
Yeah. I made a joke with Christine where she's like, he's all, they're all lovey-dovey and stuff, and she's like, yeah, but you're my backup guy, because right now it's like a hot dog in a hallway for you. So I'm gonna go over here to that Australian guy and named Bruce. Yeah, his name's Bruce, and peace.
Someone did post one of my favorite memes I've seen posted a bunch of times.
Poor Steve.
Where it's like, it's a shot from a porno, like one of those pornos where like it's the tall chick, short guy, or tall chick, short chick. And it was just that. It's like Steve Rogers, it's like a normal height guy. And they have a super tall porn star next to him, and it's like Captain Carter.
Yeah. So, but no, man, it should be fun. It should be fun.
So far,
I'll be interested to see if because I think there was some rumors that Groth or a amalgamation of that creature, because I think there's another tentacle creature like a Aldrich terror type thing that is in the MCU. I can't remember clearly, but I believe I've heard rumors of some interdimensional beasts, not Dormammu, but beasts. Being in multiverse. So we'll see. We'll see, man.
I will say the first thing I thought, even though it's completely the wrong universe, when Tentacles came out, is like, Watchmen! He's going to drop a diatentacle monster on New York City.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, man. I will be, do we know what, because everyone had this really, really weird idea that this was going to be, you know, all the Infinity Saga and all the returning actors, and I will admit it did kind of feel it was billed that way
Originally, especially with Chadwick Boseman.
Right. And then I wonder about changes with some of the voice acting casts, people that say they were never even asked to be a part of it, and then
Dave Bautista.
Right. And I'm like, will we get just 20 some odd stories set from the Infinity Saga, or will we also see some phase 4 stuff here? Like I don't know what
totally
season
could.
2 will include, but I'm stoked.
That's the other thing. It was disappointing to learn how many of the voice actors weren't returning, because it was built that way originally. But I mean, it worked well enough. The guy who played Steve was fine.
Yeah, I didn't like the guy in the trailer that's playing Stark. Yeah,
he was the first part of the trailer. I remember being like, Killmonger sounds perfect, but he sounds a little off. I definitely just think it's a budget thing. You don't want to pay all your lead actors, including Robert Downey Jr., whose contracts are completely over, like millions of dollars to voice a character for less than 20 minutes. And the actors who did come back are usually the side characters. And I think maybe the reason we are getting like a Paul Rudd and a Black Panther, or Chadwick Boseman, and even characters, A-list characters. I think the only reason we're getting a few of those is because they built it into their later contracts because they knew this was coming.
Possibly.
And Thor, honestly, Tom Hiddleston and Chris Hemsworth, who are actually playing their characters, seem like they will do any. Chris Hemsworth seems like he'll work for free. That's how excited he is about the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And then, of course, I think then you get your B-level characters. Who he's becoming A, but Bucky is still not like an Avenger in the same way the others are.
Yeah.
And or maybe it was built into his Winter Soldier contract too.
It could have been.
But he seems like someone who would be cheap enough. They're like, yeah, of course we'll have you on for 3 episodes or so. And you're not as expensive as a.
And not only that, some of it just might, especially with Downey and Evans, some of it just might be, we're done.
Yeah.
We're done.
I mean, there's a lot of you're not getting any Tom Holland. You're not getting any. It's like you're missing most of the main cast, but you're getting most of the side characters.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, money's a part, but is it everything? Because, I mean, look, I think often a lot of people forget, there's high-end actors all the time in these little indie films that will waive their normal pay. They'll take union minimum, and they'll do a movie for the right person, for the friend, for the this, for the that.
For the Disney Corporation.
No, not.
I'll take a discount, Disney. You're not rich enough to pay me a paycheck.
But what I'm saying is like a lot of people looking at this as necessarily, oh well, our RDJ just didn't want to.
I don't think of it that way at all.
Do it, or Disney didn't want to pony up the. Well, would you want to pay that much for?
No, that's why
20 minutes. Not you. I'm talking.
I'm talking about Disney even.
Yeah,
or
it's like
Marvel. I think that's why they even go to people like Dave Bautista.
Yeah,
because he already has his contract for that.
Yeah, So I'll admit that you should at least talk to people. Hey, because of XYZ, we're not going to even bother with your character. We're just letting you know that we're going to recast. That's the fucked up part. Not necessarily the money issue for me. It's just the communications about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All these people are getting paid ridiculously large amounts of money for good,
Except for the comic creators.
decent work. So, you know, everyone can relax.
I do think when James Gunn was like, "What?" that I realized that he wasn't involved either. And I'm like, it'll be weird watching a Guardians type episode without his writings. He even wrote the Guardians lines in Infinity War and Endgame before he was fired.
Yeah, but is it really the Guardians of the Galaxy?
That's true. It might just end up with Yondu.
I have a feeling. No, we've seen clips of Gamora in this and Rocket in it, and I think what we will. I think in that case, James was probably offered, and he was probably like, no, because it won't be my Guardians, and I only want to write for my Guardians. Mm-hmm. That's my guess. I'm not saying that is it, but that'd be my guess.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Woo!
I think we covered it.
We did.
A little bit longer than the episode itself.
That's all right. Everyone, please do check out lrmonline.com every day for all your entertainment news, needs, and opinions. Check out our YouTube channel. If you're watching us on here, thank you so much. Please hit subscribe and share us with some friends and family. Hit the bell so that way you can be notified whenever whenever new shows go up, like this show, the Cantina, which is our Star Wars show, the Daily Cup of Genre, which is our daily news and talk show. Breaking Geek Radio is on Fridays. The MMMayhem podcast will be back this week. I promise you, we're getting over a summer cold in this house, and I was sick for the weekend and still a bit congested today. So yeah, and then of course we're everywhere that you find all of your podcasts at: Google, Spotify, SoundCloud, all that good stuff. And then Nick and I have a bunch of social media information down below, but Nick wants to talk about some other things and maybe what happened on the last Breaking Geek and why people should go listen to it.
The last one?
Or the next one, whatever you want to talk about.
This week on Breaking Creative, the podcast, we're doing Captain Carter as our main topic. So I'll be talking the same show with a different bunch of idiots. And then the week after, we're actually going to do Free Guy. So we're all going to go back to the theaters again. I mean, I've already been for Black Widow and Mission Impossible, but we're all going to see Free Guy.
Nice.
I'm really excited to see that movie.
It looks like it should be fun.
Now, did you see all the posters on Twitter? Like, there's like 10 different, they're all just the cover of 10 different video games, but the characters are all him. And the Street Fighter one is him doing the roll.
Yeah.
And then punching Taika Waititi in the face on the ground, and like the main girl is the one that get possible from him. There's a Super Mario one where it's him animated like Super Mario flying with a cap. There's a Minecraft one. There's a Grand Theft Auto, whatever his place is called, like city's called. So it's
That's
fun.
Funny.
Yeah, lots of fun with the marketing.
Should be. All right, that's it.
And with
man.
that, Excelsior.
Enough said.
Enough said. There's no.
Enough said. Yeah.
Enough said.
See, I still need another day or two. Bye, guys.